All right, we're back. We're just having a discussion on the break about the way that the ghost is playing. During the design stream, I remember when Adam was designing the game, I remember Adam floating the idea of ghosts being able to affect rolls in a similar way to the way that Dharma does. So I'm saying to Luke that they can spend a point of yin energy to make someone's action less successful, so bump down from a 10 to 9 or to a 7 to 9, or they can spend a yang energy to make it more successful, and they can also do that to like, so like if they're
NPCs but in a non-rolly mechanized way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if you want someone to like slip and trip instead of doing the thing, then you can spend a yin.
Awesome. I'm into it.
Cool.
I'm going to make all the NPCs slip and trip constantly.
Yes, so that's a way that we can at least have a thing so that you have agency within the story that the other characters are in, rather than your own story of being a hungry ghost. Cool. All right. Well, you've been to the baths. I think that's. Do we count that as complete? Iago, what do you do?
I've been watching that one guard.
Yeah, right. So yeah, he gets off duty after a couple of hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like
and gains a Mogwai shadow.
Yeah, he heads to like a residence and like heads inside. It's a pretty small one, a pretty small residence. You hear him pour something probably into like a cup. And sit down.
Is there an opportunity for me to notice you going away?
Yeah, totally.
Or be like, hey.
I'm hiding from him, not from.
Okay. Yeah. So I think like, do you slip away before Nephthys comes back?
I think Astrid, because I don't think Nephthys was in there for.
No. It would have to be.
Yeah. In which case, like, I think as you're going to leave, I sort of like, I say like, go, where are you going?
I have some unfinished business to complete.
And I think I kind of like cross my arms and I like squint at you a little bit. And I like look at the kind of the like wound, right, like on your
which is still like running with blood.
Yeah. And then I look back up at you and I'm like, Iago, I'm worried about this place. And whatever unfinished business you have, I don't think you should go to it. I think we're all letting something go to our heads.
Are you going to stop me?
Yeah. And I sort of like I think they smile like a little bit, and they're like, doesn't the worry of your friend stop you?
Not this time.
Okay then. And yeah, I think they like put their hands down, and they're like, all right.
Cool. Yeah. So Iago, you follow after them and hear them, do pottering around the house.
I wait.
Yeah. What do you wait until?
Till I see the lights go out, and then I wait until the moon shifts a little bit more, and then I enter.
Cool. Roll body.
Nine.
Sorry, that's a 10, I think you'll find.
Hey.
You're spending a point? Cool.
Oh no.
Cool. Yeah. You sneak inside unnoticed.
Just a quick search for like a knife in the kitchen.
There's not a kitchen in here, it's like a single room.
Okay.
like the spear is against the wall.
That'll work.
That'll do.
So, could I make a request?
Yes.
If your intent is to murder this person in their home while they sleep, could I red card that? Can we just like go over it and be like, cool, and then like there's door.
And then it happens.
You are like washing your hands because I don't really want to see that happen.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. I mean, you don't have to roll for it because you are.
Yeah.
Murder.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, I think we see you like look around the room, and then we see your little kobold hand grab the spear in the same place that you grabbed it last time, and like pick it up, and then we cut away.
Yep.
Ash, would you say a living character just A, followed their desires, or B, ignored the immediate, or both?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that a one or the I or both?
I think it's one.
Which one?
The desires.
Yep.
Cool.
Because we're meeting in the morning. I don't have anything immediate.
That's true.
More.
Yep.
Cool. So what happens in the morning? Do you like are you meeting him outside the bathhouse like first light? Is there anything you want to do first?
Yeah, I think that's Nephthys's sort of call there.
Yeah, so I think maybe we skipped over the scene where Nephthys came out and said, like, we're going to meet him in the morning and blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And Nephthys is an early riser, so she probably does organise the meeting to be at, like, sunrise, and whether the other two are awake.
Yep, I'm awake. I'm with you.
Nope.
Iago was out late last night.
Yeah, so Nephthys will try to wake Iago, like she'll like rock him in his sleep.
Yes. Well,
We have a meeting.
oh gosh. We have time for tea before.
She looks out the window. Not tea. An ale, maybe.
Fine. Have something to drink before, and like wake myself up. And then I head out with them.
Cool. Yeah, so this gentleman is like waiting outside the bathhouse, having a conversation with like one of the employees there. Yeah, you rock up and he's like, I see you brought friends.
Yes, this is Sunan, a master of death rites and funerary arrangements, and Iago, a friend.
And I've got like my, my very best. I'm going to meet a client type kind of demeanor on,
Yeah.
so I'm very polite and yeah, I sort of do some formal, greeting type gestures. Maybe I think I give him a bow and try to kind of just look serious and unobtrusive.
Yeah. So yeah, he like looks to you, Nephthys, and says, "And the book, you have it with you?"
She like pats her satchel.
It's like, I would like to be sure of that.
A book such as this carries value for many people. I'd rather not get it out in public.
Don't worry, most of the guards in this town are under my employ.
Yeah, I still don't want to get it out.
Question: do you actually have the book? I've forgotten.
Yeah, no, it's one of the items in my inventory.
Yeah, cool.
I
I think I like kind of I like take a step like closer to you, Nephthys, and kind of like put my like press my kind of elbow against you, and kind of I give you a nod of like, if he tries anything, you know, I will help you. Yeah, I will help you fight this person. If you
and so Nephthys like opens the satchel and just shows like the spine of the book, which is like a network of roads, and then there's like a symbol in the center that's like representative of heaven.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. I think he nods curtly and is like, very well, follow me. And he leads you towards a gate out of town, like a small like dingy one that leads into like a small dark path into the jungle. And like starts leading you out there, and two guards that like you'd normally only have one guard, if any, on this kind of an entrance, but there are two there, and they nod curtly to him.
Do they follow us?
Really?
They don't
sinister.
follow you.
Okay.
And yeah, he takes you up like a windy, like little rickety path through the forest, and it's like these sorts of things shouldn't be kept too close to water. And yeah, he like leads you through the forest, and eventually you find yourself on like a little outlook that like looks out over the town. There are lots of trees that kind of mask it from the town itself, and there's a little. It's kind of a tower, but more dome-shaped. So it's like a tall dome that he and so he approaches, and there are two figures, 8 feet tall, standing outside. When you're like moving towards them, you think that they're wearing like leather armor, and as you approach, you realize that it's actually vellum. They're made of vellum with all of these inscriptions all over them, and yeah, they have no faces under there, just helmets made of inscribed vellum, and they like they like bow and step aside from the door as he approaches, making rustling papery sorts of sounds. And then he enters, and inside and you enter in, and you walk past like a little section that is clearly like a living section, but inside, this building is like quite large. It's probably actually the largest building in the town, or like bigger than any of the buildings in the town. And yeah, it's just
More
full.
so than the monastery?
Pardon?
Even more
Yes.
so than the monastery?
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, it's got all these really high bookshelves with like scrolls and like bits of like wood that have got just like stuff carved into them that are like bound together with string, and all these sorts of things. And it says, "Welcome to my library." And then like one of these like vellum golems like walks past. He's like, I used to have a lot of employees, but I found that I found that constructing my own is a little more reliable. He's like, you know what they want. And he's like, come, sit, and he takes you over to a reading area with like a big lush carpet and like padded seats, which is extreme. Like all of this is extremely like extravagant for the Court of Swords, because like these things would rot in the like local weather. But yeah, he sits you down, and he's like, now, you wanted to exchange. You wanted to make an exchange, I understand. And like a vellum golem like goes and just like climbs up the side of a of like one of the the really tall bookshelves, like pulls out a book and like brings it down to him and like puts it in his lap, and it looks like some kind of ledger.
Yeah, so Nephthys says, yes, an exchange of information.
He's like, that I'm open to.
And yeah, so she takes out her book and turns to a particular page about a
whirlpool, perchance?
no, because the whirlpool is what we were looking for in the last episode.
I don't remember. I will take your word for it.
Yeah, that's what we were looking for in the book cups.
Darn it, that would be so cool. I love the Whirlpool River.
No, I think this is a just trying to.
Like a sinkhole?
Yeah, I'm now picturing one of those like hidden like underground beaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the cenotes they have in Mexico.
Yeah. So it's a page that's like a drawing of one of these from like above the sinkhole with the beach, and in the beach there's a cave, and in the cave there's a tunnel that leads deep down into the earth, and deep down in the earth there is a way into
You come out in the cellars of like the high priestess's like area of heaven or something.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's specifically not looking at like what you're offering, and he's like, so your book. How much? What is it that you would like to exchange for it?
And she says, "Oh, the book itself is not for trade. It's the information inside. I'd be willing to let you make a copy, but this has sentimental value."
He's like, if you're willing to make a copy, that's fine, but I can't offer you as much for a copy. He's like, it's a matter of supply and demand.
Nephthys says, quite simply, I don't look for money.
He's like, I care not for money either. It is understanding that is important to me.
Mm-hmm. There are gaps in the knowledge of this book, and our hope is that your library contains the information that completes the puzzle.
I'm sure it does. I have many works, and some of the rarest books on the relationship between heaven and earth itself. If I were to acquire this book, acquire this book of yours, I would be very pleased. I would likely be able to solve its mysteries. What is it that you'd like in exchange?
I'm sorry, have I not been clear? The information.
He's like, you'd like a book about a similar topic. He's like, I can. He's like,
and she points at the page she's like looking at. She's like, I'd like to know where this is.
And he's like, and he like clicks his fingers, and a golem comes over and like looks at it, and like turns to him, and like the like inscriptions and like characters on its body like change, and he like reads it and is like, yes, I see. He says, I believe that my assistant here says that this looks like it may be referenced in one of my atlases.
May we see?
He's like, well, yes, if you'd like to exchange it for an atlas, I can certainly do that.
We're not going to exchange it for knowledge that might exist within your atlas.
Yeah, he's like, very well. Fetch the atlas. And like, he whispers something under his breath. If you want to roll, you can roll mind to try and know what he's whispering, but that's up to you if you want to risk it.
Can I overhear what he is whispering as I haunt this scene?
Yes, you can.
I think I'll assist.
I don't hear anything.
There isn't an assist mechanic. You can be doing your own thing.
Yeah, I'll be listening as well.
He whispers to the vellum golem, a copy if we have one.
This stingy motherfucker.
Yeah. I think that's enough of a punishment for a one. Is that the golem like nods and like he says, good, excellent, and yeah, the golem heads off and comes back with a book. It is like a series of it's a series of like bamboo slats that unfold into this increasingly large map until it. But I don't think he unfolds it completely. I think the golem just holds it in his hands, in its hands, and like takes a moment to do a magical something, and then the characters change, and he reads the characters, and I think you can probably read the characters as well. It's probably written in common, and it just says the atlas contains the information about this location.
Well, okay then. Yeah, so Nephthys says...
sorry, I think it like specifically like the information required to find this location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Nephthys says, I would gladly let you make a copy of my book in exchange for the knowledge in the atlas.
Yeah, roll hard.
That's 12.
I mean, I can't argue with that. Yeah, because it's his atlas is a copy anyway. Yeah, I think he says this is he hums and haws and groans so much, and he says, yes, of course. If you'll pass it to my friend here, to my assistant here, they will make a copy immediately.
Yeah, and Nephthys like very hesitantly hands. Yeah, like closes the book, and like puts it back in its leather wrappings and hands it to the golem very gently.
Yep. So yeah, he's like, while my assistant is working, I'll have someone bring us some tea, and like he clicks his fingers, and another golem like comes over with like four cups and a teapot, and like pours green tea into each of them, and he like sits back and like drinks, and then yeah, it's like, so you've travelled quite far.
We've all travelled from many different places.
I see. Your accent is called of cups, I believe. Drink. It's getting cold.
Yeah. So she takes a sip, and she says, more of a border accent. Was born in the Court of Wands and spent much of my life in the Court of Cups.
It's like fascinating. I don't hear of Nagas traveling that much. It's so interesting to hear. And like, I think he turns to Sinan and Iago and is like, and you've accompanied your friend this way?
No, we just appeared out of nowhere in this town.
Yeah, I think like Sinan is like very sullen and has been watching this whole like incredibly frustrating deal. Like Nephthys is to Sinan's like view. Nephthys is being like very clear. Like, this is the thing I offer. This is the thing I want. And he's just like being so flimsy and sinister, and so they're just like getting increasingly frustrated. And I think like when he sort of turns to address them, and Iago, they sort of like take a deep breath, and then when Iago says that, they just kind of like look to Iago, look back at him, and go, yeah. Like, yeah, what he said.
Yeah, and I think he like frowns and like looks at your teacups, and like it's like and says, well, obviously you haven't had much time to learn manners. He says,
I'm sorry, we're here to protect our friend. We don't want to just drink whatever's given to us in an isolated place in the middle of the jungle.
He's like, yes, very well.
We're not here to have manners.
And he's like, very well. And he's like, well, and he picks up the copy of the atlas and like hands it to Nephthys, and it's like, you got what you came for. You should leave. And like gives her the atlas. Nephthys, can you roll soul?
Is someone trying to affect my mind or body?
Yes.
That doesn't matter. I get a 4.
Cool. You got what you came for. Good job. You can leave.
Are we able to like?
I'm just I'm just letting Nephthys know. You play it out how you want, but like Nephthys, you're under the impression that you got what you came for and you can leave.
Yeah, so Nephthys finishes her tea, puts her cup down.
Is there any reason to believe that she didn't get what she came for? Like, if she had been handed the atlas?
We're still waiting on our book back. She only traded a copy.
Right. Cool. Yeah. Okay, so that's obvious to us then.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard the narration.
Cool. So then I just say, Nephthys, we have to wait for the copy.
You've got the copy, just there.
Copy of. We're waiting
of
for
Nephthys.
our book back. You're only getting a copy of it, not the whole book.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm sorry, I'm confused. You have a copy of the book that you came for.
We want our book back after you make a copy.
Yeah, I think the Vellum Golem that served the tea, like refills everyone's cup and then stands menacingly behind him, and is like, and he's like, "You're being very rude. I don't think I want to have you in my house anymore. Please take your atlas and go."
You've stolen from us. Give it back. We don't want to fight you.
Ash, just brief question. When Nephthys was trying to like cut through his bullshit, was she seeking logic?
Yes.
Right now, when he has bespelled her, is she ignoring the immediate?
No, because,
I don't think
that's
that
not her
counts, 'cause it's not-
reality. That's not her understanding.
It's not agency. Yeah, it's not her agency. She's not choosing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the golem like starts towards you.
What is Nephthys doing?
Nephthys was getting up and like putting the hookah back over her shoulder, and
So yeah, I'm just curious to know like how far this magic extends. Like if we are saying like
You can roll soul to try and roll heart to try and overcome it.
yeah, yep. Like if we can combat it by being like, no, you're being lied to. We, your friends, say you're being lied to. Yep, I'll try that. It's an 8. Oh, bless you.
Thank you.
And actually, hang on a minute. What is the things that we never use about
Do you want to spend some Dharma?
Yep, I want to do it. I want to bump it to a 10. I'm going to spend 3.
Cool, excellent. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, Nephthys. You definitely wanted to leave here with 2 books, and you're only leaving with 1.
yes, yeah. So she's doing her like she's checking like Wallet Key's phone that she's got everything, and she's got the hookah, and she like pats her satchel and it's empty. And what does Sinan like say to like make that like clear?
So I don't think it's entirely empty. I think there is in there a little jar that if we pulled it out and looked at it is full of some strangely colored dirt.
Yeah, I think I just say to you like we're meant to leave with 2 books. I think that's it.
Yeah, so she's like patting her satchel and hears that and says, "Oh yes, that's right. A copy for a copy."
Yeah, and I think he like stands and starts to like walk away with the golem still between you, and says, "You're not welcome in my house. If you, I would suggest you leave."
I think I just like I look at Nephthys and I like crack my knuckles. like
Yeah.
Because it's totally up to you. Like it's your your belongings.
I'm trying to work out. Yeah, so she looks at Sinan and looks at Iago and says, "Deal with the paper," and then like grabs her staff.
Pulls out like some lamp oil and just like toss in a jar of that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you've got the oil. I've got like tools for making fire because I'm always lighting candles. Yeah. Okay.
If you don't wish to give us our knowledge back, we'll just take some of yours.
Yeah, roll talkie, roll heart.
Can we work
Intimidate him
together?
with your heart.
There
I help?
isn't a working together mechanism.
Oh, that's right. There isn't nothing. Okay, cool. Well,
9.
Yeah.
You made him anger.
I'm not lying.
I mean, there's a success with a cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he. So like he emerges back out of the like. So like he turns around and like I think he's gone into the other room, and I think he comes back out. and like storms out towards you, and it's like, and now you're threatening me with violence. He's like, I have no intention of dealing with people such as yourself, and like he goes up to Nephthys, holds out her book, and then unless you're stopping him, snatches the atlas back.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm gonna.
Oh no. She's frozen.
The wizard's magic is too
He
strong.
casts hold person on her.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. She's been magically compelled.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
We'll be
Alright,
back
see if it fixes.
in a second. All right, chat. Back soon.